Hey guys, welcome back to the Stupid Stuff Podcast. This is episode 28.
Hey.
Today I am here with Tantan and Hayden. And yeah, it has been a fucking hot
My legs. Have you seen my legs?
No.
My legs are gone.
Good.
My legs are gone, Ira. Ira, what did you do to my legs?
I miss
What did you
her.
do to my legs?
Remember
I
that
miss
burger?
my wife.
That was leg.
Pussy
I'm
beans.
so rich. Apparently, there's a Mr. Beast burger like near my college, so I
Really?
might just go there on my way home. Yeah,
This shit's
apparently.
like hella expensive though.
Precisely. I'm gonna have the boys chip in.
Jesus Christ, Tanner's splurging tonight.
I'm tan splurging tonight. Fuck the economy.
Oh,
Fuck the
Buy a
economy.
Mr.
God,
Beast
dude, you're
burger.
stimulating the hell out of the economy tonight.
I want to move to Amsterdam.
I want to move to Tantan's basement. I am in Tantan's basement, actually.
I don't
I'm
I
actually in
don't
his
have a
closet right
basement.
now.
I live in an apartment.
Oh, good, he's still fooled.
You, you're my what?
What the
You're
dog
my-
doing?
That closet?
What the dog doing?
Hey yo, what the dog doing? Holy fucking shit! It's Snoop Dogg. Oh fuck! Oh fuck! Oh god! Oh fuck!
We need to make a horror game where instead of like Slender Man, it's SnoopDoggPNG.com.
It's just an actual picture of Snoop Dogg standing in the corner. He just moves around. Alright, so... yeah, as I was
Reminds me of
saying...
the one time.
Hmm?
I'm scratching my balls.
Scoob, I put my balls in the Burger King soda dispenser.
That's my joke. You can't say that. That's racist.
Look, guys, I don't know if you know this, but there isn't any law that dictates that you cannot put your balls in the Burger King soda dispenser.
As long as no
Therefore,
one
Actually,
sees
if I
it,
go
you
to my
can't
local
get charged
Burger
It's
for
called
indecent
public
exposure.
nudity.
it's not nudity if it's just my balls,
If it's
bro.
just the balls, no dick, just the balls hanging out of your fly.
If it's just the balls, bro. It's like if a bitch's titty popped out, bro. It's just my balls in the Burger
Dude,
King soda
oh god, I forgot the name of
dispenser.
that one comedian. He's the one who like he moved into a new apartment with a roommate, and one of the things that they found in like a cabinet was a jar of cumin. And he Jesus Christ.
Yes, I know exactly what you're
Can you
doing.
guys hear that car?
And he
that
called
just
it
went past my
coming to
house?
piss
That
him
shit was
off.
loud. But yeah, no, and
I didn't hear it.
He kept going up to
I
him
think
and
you're
saying,
you're
"Coming."
showing schizoid symptoms.
And he kept
Yeah,
going
and
to
like
him
the
saying,
dog's
"Coming."
name was Cumin.
Yeah, he's like. So
The roommate's dog's name was Cumin.
Yeah, and so another one of his stories was one time when he was like 15, he and some friends were smoking weed in an alley, and this guy like walked up, like they were pretty fucking zoinked at this point, right? And so this guy walked up to the front of the alley,
Yeah.
and like they could tell something was off with him, but he couldn't quite he couldn't quite tell what was wrong with the dude. And then he realized the dude's nutsack was hanging out, like not his dick, just his nut. And so, as soon as he realizes this, he just looks up at the man. And the dude, like, and this, I'm reciting this from, like, just memory. I haven't seen this in forever. But, so the dude, like, pulls out a pack of smokes, like, lights one up, like takes the drag from it and holds the hot part up to his nuts, like doesn't touch, but like gets close. And he's like, "Y'all gonna keep smoking?" They're like, "Nah, please God, just don't do it." And he flicks it away. He's like, "Man, so all that's guaranteed in life is your balls. Know how to use them." And he walks away. I don't know why that's what that reminded me of. Like, just the balls, not the dick, just the balls.
Just the comedian was looking at this dude's balls and he was like, "Something's wrong. I can feel it.
Wrong.
Just
I can
this
feel
feeling
it.
I've
It's
got."
a weird feeling I've got. Like something's about to happen, but I don't know what.
I don't know what. And if that means what I think it means, we're in
Means
trouble. Big
Real
trouble.
trouble. And it might be as bananas as you
If
say.
you're
Alright, so let's get back on topic. So, I like how we haven't
Let's
actually
get-
finished the intro yet. All of this is technically the intro. So, oh god.
Gee, Ira, what are we going to talk about today? Ira, tell us what we're going to talk about today on this episode of the Stupid Stuff podcast. I really want to know what we're going to talk about today, Ira. Please,
So-
Ira, please tell us what we are going to be discussing on episode 28 of the Stupid Stuff podcast. Please, for the love of God. Please, just tell us. I'm on the edge of my seat. I am on my knees. I am begging, bro. Please, just tell us. Please. I have a wife and kid at home, man. I need to get back home. Just tell us what we're going to be talking about.
Oh shit.
You know, I consider myself to be like the Joker from the movie Joker.
Oh fuck. Okay, well, so aside from mutilation of the male genitalia, today we're gonna be talking about the book. I don't think I've actually mentioned the book on the podcast before, but so, oh god. So far,
On the podcast, starring the podcast members? No, you haven't mentioned it before.
I wonder. So,
Anyways, continue. You know, you remind me a lot of my father. He was a
swear to God.
sussy baka too.
If my character dies in the first 5 seconds of the intro of the book, I'm gonna kill myself.
like your character?
Just once upon a time. Once upon a time,
wait,
yeah,
is
Breadman dies.
Is my character's canon death just like my IRL canon death?
Yeah,
Gets
obviously. Duh.
Sniped by a fucking 12-year-old with a dragon off in a
360
helicopter.
Yeah, so, alright, so here's the deal. So, alright. Okay, let's do this. So, the working title of the book is The Locked Door. And so The Locked Door is going to be a book
Sounds like a
that
Harry
it
Potter
has it's going to be kind of like an anthology based on the stories of multiple different characters in this setting. And there's also going to be bits that are based off of conversations that we've had in the podcast. And so I have here today some of Chapter 1. It's far from being completed.
My dick fell off.
That's tough. So we have
Hey, yo, did the glue go off?
did the glue fall off? That shit melted? That shit hurt.
Hey, yo,
No, it
hey, yo,
broke
did the glue
off.
go off?
I accidentally
One
twisted it the wrong
window.
And
way.
another big gloopy.
I tried to do a loopy spiral and it didn't work.
Okay, So, but yeah, I have the work in progress of the first chapter of the book here, and now I'm gonna read it, and then we're gonna
He's
talk
gonna have
about it.
Spider-Man.
So, here we go. Chapter 1. Debt grabbed his... Hayden.
What the fuck was that?
Hayden.
Yeah.
Listen to me, friend. Listen to me. Look into my eyes. Look into
What?
my eyes, Hayden.
You don't have eyes.
Look into the sun, Hayden.
It's nighttime.
Look at my profile picture, dipshit.
It's not loading.
I always
But you know
forget
what
that your
is loading?
profile picture is
The
just
fucking
clouds in the shape of a butt.
You know what is loading?
Well,
I forgot that the fucking AC 130 above your house right now, man. Prep yourself for
No,
some
it's not.
150 millimeter. I don't
No, it's
see a
not.
blinking light on
You didn't
your
do it
house,
the first
Hayden.
time, so it's not as funny.
Huh?
There was also not a flare on the church, which means you could shoot the church. You know that one mission I'm talking about.
Yeah.
The one mission where you're in the AC 130 and you have to shoot all targets that don't have flares.
Yeah.
The church doesn't have a flare.
I would like to be referred as the boulder punching asshole now.
Okay, so
You mean Chris Redfield?
guys,
Leon,
please, I'm
Leon.
begging of you, please.
Leon, please, you must fornicate with my sister to continue the Redfield bloodline. Leon, please, I'm begging you. Leon, please.
I got told on Twitter that whole joke is sexist. Stop saying it.
That's why it's so funny. We must say it even more.
This is Duke Nukem logic at its peak.
These shrimp are gonna pay for frying my rice.
Read the goddamn book.
Okay, guys, yeah, well, shut the fuck up, and I will. Okay, here we go. Alright. Chapter 1. Okay, Chapter 1. Det grabbed his drink. sat
Chapter
down.
1 already starting off strong.
Shut the
The
fuck
silence.
up, Dad.
All right, let's begin. Chapter 1.
Okay. Alright.
Don't make me use my 1/10 Native American heritage to summon a Wendigo on you. Fucking bitch.
Joke's on you, I know how to speak wingdings.
Jokes on you. I know how to speak wingdings.
Jesus
Proceeds
Christ.
to summon a demon.
Oh, I'm gonna let this ride out. I'm just gonna let this happen.
Okay. Joke's on you. I know how to speak wingdings. Proceeds. Oh, it hurts to laugh. Joke's on you. I know how to speak wingdings. Proceeds to summon the unknowable and ancient god Cthulhu.
Yo, Tam, you good? You need me to speak some wingdings? Get y'all fixed up?
I don't know why that was so funny. Just joke's on you. I know how to speak wingdings.
Alright, guys,
And I
I'm
was just
currently in my
picturing in my-
kitchen.
Hayden
Hayden's
does
currently in his
indeed appear to
kitchen.
be in his kitchen.
Hey, yo, he's speaking wingdings in that bitch.
Oh god.
I
Jesus
speak in,
Christ. Okay, listen.
I speak
Listen.
wingdings into my girl's pussy, make her squirt a mile long.
It seemed
You
like
know how
jokes
to
seemed to work.
Joke's on you. I don't know. I know how to speak wingdings, speech incomprehensible.
All right, I need a.
When you play Bloodborne and get Madman's knowledge, it's literally just speaking wingdings.
Guys, I'm gonna
Oh,
fucking.
that's-
Oh my god, please. Just. Please.
Okay, I think I'm good.
Is it done? Okay.
The microwave do go burr,
Looks
though.
done.
This man wasn't joking. Hey, and mute your fucking mic.
That's what it sounds like when he speaks wingdings.
Tanner, listen to
That's
me.
gonna be the-
Tanner.
That's-
Tan. Listen,
Yeah.
you're too funny
Yeah,
right
what's
now.
up?
I need you to shut up. You're being too funny. This isn't allowed.
No, but the title of the episode has to be "Jokes on
Speaking
You." I know how to
wingdings.
speak wingdings.
Okay. All right. Okay.
That's
all
And then
right,
the entire
okay,
description
all
is
right,
wingdings.
Okay. All right.
Fuck.
Okay.
Who
all right.
buys spicy sausage? Get a fucking life. God.
Your mom ate my spicy sausage, Hayden.
Shut up. I'm drinking milk.
As preferred
Your
to,
mom
as
drank
preferred
my
to
milk,
mild
Hayden.
sausage.
There's dark chocolate.
I really
Ooh,
hope
water.
my neighbors
Your mom
can't hear
shook
me
me
right
good
now.
and hard
'Cause,
through
like,
my jorts.
these walls aren't insulated at all. So like I'm definitely just yelling into the woods at the moment. I didn't mention this, but I am like in a. It's not a shed. I'm in a fancy shed right now. And like
That's called a house.
my neighbors can almost shut the fuck up. My neighbors can almost definitely hear me.
I'm eating
What is
cheese.
a house but a fancy shed? No. Okay, no. Look. A fancy shed has one window. Okay, a house has two windows. Therefore, a house is just a fancier fancy shed.
A fancy. Wait, but this shed has 3 windows.
Bro, I hate to break it to you, bro, but I think you're living in a mini mansion.
Who's your good kitty? Who's your good kitty? Yes,
Your
you are.
mom.
Did you just scratch me? I'm gonna fucking yeet you across the fucking room.
Oh, it looks like Hayden's picking up his Twitch career early.
I'm gonna become a linity if you don't shut the fuck up.
Okay, speaking of
Thanks.
shutting the fuck up, you guys, please?
Yeah, okay.
Okay, I'm good. Hold on, listen.
Okay.
Can both of you please mute your mics just until I finish reading this? I beg of you. You know what? Better yet, hold on. Okay, there we go. I muted Hayden. Here we go. All right. Okay. Fucking 15 minutes later. Alright, chapter 1. Det grabbed his drink, sat down at the bar, and took in his surroundings. Dear Christ, I've already noticed a grammatical error. Let's go. Det grabbed his drink, sat down at the bar, and took in his surroundings. The barista.
That's what you get for speaking wingdings.
The barista's moving from place to place, taking orders, making drinks, and
My man's posted up in the bar speaking wingdings.
Man, okay, listen, man, you're too funny. I need you to. I'm gonna mute. I'm gonna listen. man.
Straight T-posing at the bar, speaking wingdings to the barista. Oh yeah, can I get a speech incomprehensible? Fucking-
Get a motherfucking wingdings.
Can I get a motherfucker? Can I get a motherfucking
Okay, listen, Tanner. I need
Okay,
you
okay, I'm gonna mute
mute
myself.
yourself.
I'm
I
gonna mute
have
myself. Okay,
spoken. I have spoken. Okay.
I'm muting myself, but not because you asked me to.
Absolute Sigma. Okay. Det grabbed his drink, sat down at the bar, and took in his surroundings. The barista's
True
moving.
Sigma male speak wingdings. Ain't that right, my fellow Sigma nation? Okay, I'm sorry.
Alright. The barista's moving from place to place, taking orders, making drinks, and squeezing the last batch of lemons for this summer season. Easy listening music playing through the speakers with deep bass to catch you. I can't fucking focus because of wingdings, Tanner! Oh my god.
Hey yo, the music is just wingdings.
I'm lightheaded. I'm legitimately lightheaded.
Hey yo, the pizza here falls downstairs and wingdings.
I'm gonna start over. I'm
Oh.
gonna mute you, okay?
Okay.
Listen. Hold on, I'm gonna unmute Hayden. What's Hayden doing? Nothing, okay. Remuted because he moaned immediately. Okay, here we go. And that is what I have so far. It's not a lot, but, you know, writer's block is a bitch, so, yeah. And I have unmuted both of you now.
Hayden, do your bit. You said you had a bit.
He do be slipping, though.
Yeah, no, but so while you were reading that, I was trying to copy and paste the fitness gram pacer test into Word and then change it to Wingdings and put it in the general chat. But when I pasted it into there, it like blocked out all the Wingdings stuff, so it just didn't work.
But,
So when does Tan come into play?
Tantan comes
That's what I
into
wanna know.
play, like later
The
in
end.
chapter 1,
The end of the book.
probably. So, this is
No,
why I have...
not the book, the
Because
book series.
he is a bartender in one of the
Yeah,
rooms, right?
yeah. So, that's just what I have written
Okay.
so far, but I have more stuff planned out.
10
By
should
the way, do you
date
guys want to
Hatsune
see my
Miku.
scar from when I busted my head open?
Huh?
Hey, I have one of those in the back of my head.
Because so in the stupid stuff book channel, I put in like all my stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Scars, one on the knuckle of his right pinky and one on the back of his head, about 3 inches long. I have a picture
I can measure that.
the thing of the scar, but like with the staples in. So like I'll just DM it to you because I don't want to curse everyone's eyes.
When does Breadman come into play?
But
Because
yeah,
you literally
it's
had me as a fucking
pretty
delivery
crappy,
driver.
if you ask me.
You're
By the
probably
way, this
gonna
is when I
show
was
up
like
in
16
chapter
years
2.
old.
Oh, damn.
Okay. When's Hayden's character gonna show up?
Chapter.
Chapter 2.
Do you have me muted? I just said chapter 2.
But, wait, hold on, you said you DM'd me something?
Yeah, my scar on the back of my head, but it's like right after the staples were put
Oh
in my head.
Christ!
I have the story. Do you want me to tell you the story behind it?
Sure.
So when I busted my head open, I was in drama club at my high school, right?
Mhm.
And so I was where am I? Okay, yeah.
Where
Okay.
are you?
There we go. Okay, so yeah. So good question. Anyways, so yeah, I was in the high school. We were in the auditorium and we had just gotten finished rehearsing and I was on the stage, and so I was gonna do a hardcore parkour and just kind of like vault myself off the stage, like slide off the stage, basically. Not
Mhm.
like a running slide. Like I'm at the edge of the stage. I put my hand down, right? I'm about to jump off, and for some inexplicable reason, my toes, the very tip of my sneakers, get caught on the very edge of the
This is back
stage,
in like
so I fall
1987,
face
right?
forward, right?
Mhm.
I hold my arms out. I manage to like cushion my fall a little bit, but I have the wind knocked out of me, right? I'm on my back, I'm wheezing, I'm
Mhm.
unable to breathe. And so a guy named Barefoot. Now this is his last name, but everyone
Fucking
calls him
what?
Barefoot. He's on the football team. Yeah, no, he's this big, like over 6 feet dude. He's real bulky. I think he was like a linebacker for the high school football team. He was a chill dude. He was awesome. We loved Barefoot. Everyone loves Barefoot. But yeah, Barefoot comes over and he's
Does he
like, "You okay,
exist?
man?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I just need to lay down a minute and just catch my breath." And he's like, "No, man, you got to get up on your feet, man." Grabs my arm in one motion, just pulls me back up on my feet like in a split second.
Mhm.
And like I still haven't catched my breath yet. So like I don't have any oxygen in my system, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, thanks. So I'm like, thanks, man. And then I instantly pass out.
Jesus
And
Christ! This dude knocked you
I
out.
pass out. Yeah, I fall backwards into the auditorium seats, right into the front row of seats. Now these are older auditorium
So
chairs.
they're like
So
metal.
this is like pure like solid wood. No, they're pure solid wood.
Oh.
Like they're fancy, but they're like made of wood. Right? And they're solid wood. They're not like the cheap IKEA wood. Like this stuff like lasts 100 years type wood.
Mhm.
And back of my head, like more towards the right of my head, but like right where the back of my head and the top of my head meet. You know what I'm talking about? That like
Yeah.
area right
Yeah.
there? Yeah, that's where it busts open.
Damn.
And it's like a decent split open, right? Not too big, so I'm not like bleeding out, but I'm bleeding and like I'm just out cold. And when I come to, I feel this burning pain in the back of my head, and I don't know what happened, right? And I had really bad anxiety at the
How
time,
long were you
so
out, by the
I
way?
freak just a few minutes.
Ah. I mean, yeah.
Just a few minutes, but everyone was fucking freaked out. Everyone was like, "Oh shit." And
Hey,
so
yo, he
I come
fucking
to,
dead.
like I feel like I'm gonna throw up. My like that's what happens every time I pass out. When I come to, I feel like I'm gonna throw up, but I never do. I feel like I'm gonna throw up. I feel this burning pain in the back of my head. I can't open my eyes. I'm so dizzy. Like if I open my eyes, it hurts. Like I got a mild
Well,
concussion from
yeah,
it.
because you hit
Like
the
Yeah,
not
back of
you
your
nothing
head.
too
Like
serious.
that's where your vision is at.
Yeah,
no divisions
yeah,
in
the
front of the
occipital
head, just
lobe.
like the Marvel
Yeah,
movies.
so but yeah, no, like, and then I touch the back of my head and I feel blood, and I'm like, oh fuck, and I freak out. Like my anxiety goes through the roof, and I scream like, oh my god, I'm bleeding. Oh my god, like I'm making a huge production without meaning to. Like you know how dramatic I can be, right? For
Yeah.
the sake of comedy, I was being dramatic out of pure
Or
fear.
Call of
Like
Duty
I had
Zombies.
no idea what was going on. And apparently,
This dude's
according to
freaking out
Florida
like
law,
somebody
you
said the
have
word Steyr.
What the fuck is
but
that?
yeah, apparently, according to Florida law, the school has to call in an ambulance. So I get taken to a hospital. I get put in an ambulance, and I'm mildly concussed. So I'm kind of woozy, but like when they ask me the questions, like, do you know what year it is? I'm like, yeah, it's like 2016. Donald Trump's the president, blah 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 blah. I know this stuff. Like I'm talking to them, like, yeah, no, I know this stuff. I know exactly what to say in order to make sure that I am not crazy or some shit like that. They're like, good. Like the EMTs are like probably fed up with my shit, and then they had an IV into me to like do a blood test or something. I can't remember what it was, but I'm scared of needles. Right, like tattoo needles, I'm fine. I love tattoo needles, but medical needles, I freak out. And I'm like, no, don't you dare. And they're like, it's okay, you're not gonna feel anything. And they lied. They lied. I felt it all, and they just shove it in there, and I'm like, ah!
He said,
and then I'm being wheeled into the emergency room, right? And one of the emergency responders legit looked like my 8th grade algebra teacher. And I told him that. I looked him dead in the eyes and I said, you look a lot like my 8th grade algebra teacher. And he's like, maybe I am. And I'm still woozy. So I'm like, fuck, what the fuck?
Sorry
In my
to
head,
turn
I'm
into
like,
a
holy shit. Like, what is going on? Like, you can't say that to someone who's mildly loopy. Like, imagine, like, this dude he looked almost 1-to-1 like my algebra teacher. But he was like skinnier than my algebra teacher. My algebra teacher was more heavy set. Not saying he's fat. Like, he was just, he had more meat on him. This guy was really skinny, right? But his face, his facial structure, and his hair, and his voice, he was just like my algebra teacher. And I told him that, and he's like, "Well, maybe I am your algebra teacher." And I'm like, "Dude, you can't say that." And so yeah, and so I end up getting staples put in my head, and it was painful. They put a numbing gel on the
No,
area where
what
they
do
got
you mean? They didn't even
staples,
put
right?
in any
And it's
type of numbing gel.
It's annoying.
They were like, "You're not gonna feel a thing. If anything,
You
you're gonna
feel
feel.
all
You're
of it.
just
You
gonna feel
feel
pressure."
all of the pressure from it.
And
And
I
it
felt all of it.
sucks.
And I felt all of it. And I felt all of it. And I told them that, and they're like, "Well, guess it didn't work."
Well,
And like,
that's
at least you got the
tough.
staples in your head. But yeah, no. But what's weird though? What's weird though is like I felt the staples going into my head, but like a month or so later, when I got the staples removed, I didn't feel a thing.
Huh.
Literally, they just grabbed it, yanked, and it was done. Like, I don't know how I
That's how
didn't
I
feel
felt
it.
whenever I got mine.
I'd
I got
like
mine
to
around when I
imagine they
was
just did
8.
this with like office
Oh,
back
4.
supplies. Like they just went and got one of those like Dollar Tree
No,
fucking
they did.
staple removers and yanked them out.
They just used like they just used a standard staple remover.
Really?
They used a staple
Yeah.
gun for mine, like to put it in. Like I thought that was
Yeah.
like a stapler they would find
But
at
yeah,
school.
no,
And
that's the story of how I busted open my head.
you want to hear my not so cool as his story?
Go for it.
What?
So I was 5 or 6. I don't remember.
Hayden's breaking up for me, so it actually sounds like he's speaking wingdings.
What? But whenever I was 5 or 6, I decided. So I had a little playground set at church that was fully made out of wood,
Oh yeah.
and they had at the back where it was like a little rope where you could climb like a rock wall, and then you could use the rope to help you climb up. The rope became unattached at the bottom, so I could take it down the slide with me. So I decided to hang it up, like wrap it around this pole, and then jump off the slide as like Tarzan. But little old me couldn't hang on myself, and I slipped and I fell, and a nail went across the back of my head, just like a little bit. I didn't know what was going on. I cried a little bit because I fell, and I was like 6.
Mhm.
Then I got up and I walked inside of the church, and my dad he screamed and picked me up and held me. I was so fucking confused, like, why the fuck is this happening? Then I got into an ambulance, went to the hospital. Now my mom raised shit because, like, why is my son in the hospital? And then it really fucking hurt whenever they put it in because I really thought they used an actual nail gun. And
Hmm.
anyway, that's all. It's not as cool as his, but it's a story.
I've only ever gone to the hospital once. Uh, it was that one time 15 years ago. So
Shut up!
yeah.
God damn it! Shut the fuck!
Yeah, nah.
You no longer have an opinion.
But I'm trying to think of times when I've hurt myself. One time God, when was this? I know it was pre-COVID. It was like probably 2018, like early 2019 most likely. And so I went through a scooter phase where scooters were like my favorite thing. Um, and so on my property, on the driveway, I have this, like, there's this hill, and it's decently steep, so you can get like a lot of speed on it, and it's like scary as shit going down. So I decided I was gonna like put my earbuds in and listen to fucking "Don't Stop Me Now" while going full
The
speed down this
Geometry
hill.
Dash soundtrack.
You
Yeah,
should have been on a
definitely.
bicycle and listened to "I Wanna Ride My Bicycle."
Bicycle, I want to ride my bike.
Bicycle, bicycle.
But yeah, nah. So I was listening to "Don't Stop Me Now," and I started at like the very
Yeah,
farthest back
continue.
that I could, and I got so fucking fast, dude. I it's I was a speed. I'm so fast, dude. I'm trying to. God, what was that one video?
I'm fast as fuck, boy.
Fast as fuck, boy. Yeah, nah. But you know the Sonic one, where he's like,
You're
"I'm
like, yeah,
fast. I'm so fast," ah! And he like
yeah,
breaks through the window.
yeah. I'm
Yeah.
fast, and he turns around and he's asses out because it's like assless. It's like an assless costume.
And so
I remember that video vividly.
I was going down full speed, and like if I had to guess, if I had to guess, because I remember I looked from side to side because that's generally how I can tell how fast I'm going. I was like I was going like 25 miles an hour. I was fast as fuck, boy, and so at that speed, bumps become a lot more intense, and I hit like a piece of grass or some shit, and I went fucking flying. And it's so annoying because because "Don't Stop Me Now" has never sounded the same to me, because as soon as I hit the piece of grass, it said "defying the laws of gravity," and I went fucking flying, and then I hit the ground. And that hurt like a bitch. It wasn't anything like super serious.
You were not having a good time. You were not having a ball.
I was not having a ball. But it's actually the place, or that's how I've gotten my only scar, like my only actual scar, is from that, because I didn't like everything I'd healed up like 2 weeks later, except this one spot on my arm, and I was like, huh, what's up with this? And then I woke up one day and a fucking rock came out of my arm. So apparently there had been like a piece of gravel stuck in my elbow.
Yike.
Okay, Solid Snake.
So yeah, that's my story. Not as crazy as y'all's, but
That actually reminds me of the story of how I got my other scar, which is on my right pinky.
Mm-hmm.
I was like 12. I was like 12. This is when I was still living in Ohio. It was before I moved down to Florida. I was like 12,
Wait, you're in
I think,
you're in Florida?
or something like that. No, I was in Florida. When I busted open my head, that's when I was living in Florida.
Oh,
But before that, I got my scar on my pinky. I didn't know it was a scar. I just thought it was like a weird formation of skin, which is technically a scar. Like that's what a scar is. But like I
If
never
it
knew
doesn't
that
grow
was like
hair,
what a
then
scar
if it
was.
doesn't grow hair and it doesn't get dirty, it's probably scar tissue.
But yeah, so basically I was riding home from my friend's house. I didn't even make it like down the hill. I lived like right at the bottom of a hill. The way the neighborhood was, right? There was a whole block, right? There was a whole block, and there were two hills, right? And I lived at the bottom of both hills. So like when you enter the neighborhood, right? You enter in the neighborhood, you take a right, that's the first hill, right? And if you
Mhm.
take a left at the bottom of that, you go up another hill, right?
Mhm.
So I lived right at the bottom corner, right between the bottom of both those hills, right? And so my friend lived up the hill to the right, right? So like you enter the neighborhood, you take a right, go down the hill, then you would take a left and go up that other hill. He was at the top of that other hill, right? And
Yeah.
so my bike is so like I was hanging out, we were tossing a football, and I was like, okay, I got to go home, and so. I get on my bike. He like goes back inside his house. I get on my bike. I shit you not. I wanted to cross the street because he was across the street too. He was up the hill across the street. So I'm going to cross the street. For some reason my bike just stops. I don't know if I hit a pebble just right or something, because there was nothing in the street. There was nothing to stop my bike. My bike just stopped, and I just got launched across the street,
Like
and I
over the
skid
handlebars.
over the handlebars, and I skid across the street, and I'm on the other side of the street now. I get up and
You
I
did
look at my
cross the
pinky.
road.
I did cross the road, but not on my bike, right? My bike launched me. So it was technically off my bike, right? But yeah, I get catapulted off my bike and I skid across the street. Like my body slides across the street. That's how hard I got thrown. I don't know what happened or what I hit in order for me to get thrown like that. But like I get skid across the street. I get up and like I don't feel anything. I look at my pinky and it's just red. Like the knuckle of my pinky is just pure red. It's like shredded, like meat, like ground beef. Like
Oh,
that's how
fun.
bad it is. Yeah. Like I couldn't see the bone or anything, but it was shredded really bad. So I go over to my friend's house and I knock on the door and I'm like, hey, this just happened. And his dad like saw it. He was like, oh shit, you need disinfectant now. And so like
Neosporin.
they give me Neosporin. They give me Neosporin. They put a Band-Aid on it or something, or they like wipe it off as best as I can. And that's when it starts hurting really bad. And I'm like, I'm just gonna go. I'm just gonna walk home. I'm just gonna walk home. I'm gonna walk my bike home. I'm not gonna ride my bike because for some reason my bike's acting all fucky. And so I walk down the hill.
You
I
said
go
this as a
across around the
12-year-old to your
corner
friend's dad. My
because
bike is acting all fucky.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that, but that was like my thought process. Like my bike's acting weird. I'm just gonna go home and tell my dad because my dad, like, I think at that time either he didn't have a job or he was working third shift or something like that. I can't remember. And so I walk down the hill. I turn around. I walk across my house. Walk across. I go up the driveway and around because we had for some reason my house was the only house that had like a tall wooden fence, like it was a really tall wooden fence, and it was brown. It was like painted brown, and the top of the fence came up to points. But they weren't sharp or anything, but like you know what I'm talking about. But
Mhm.
yeah, so like we had a gate for our backyard, so I opened the gate and I put my bike in the shed and everything, and so I walk into the house and I'm like, "Hey, Dad, hey, Dad, so funny story. I show him my pinky, and he sees my pinky, and he goes, "What the fuck happened?" And I'm like, I don't know. My bike just threw me across the street and this happened. And he freaks out and he's like, okay, we just need to get this clean. Like, are you okay? Like, are you're good, right? Like nothing else bad happened. Like you're fine, right? And so I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. It's just my pinky hurts. And he's like, holy shit, Tanner, like that looks painful. And like this man has gone, like across it on his right hand. I'm pretty sure it's his right hand. It's either his right hand or his left hand. He nearly had all of his fingers cut off because he used to work in a factory, and he had an accident with a machine, and like he had his fingers sewed back on, but it was like the bottom half, like from his knuckle
Mhm.
to like the tips of his fingers, like the
Yeah.
middle knuckle right? So like his thumb and then the middle knuckles of his fingers, and then all the way to his fingertips. Like he's told me the story millions of times, but they were like dangling off of his knuckles, right? Like they were dangling. Like he almost had to lose all his fingers, but they managed to salvage it and sew them back on and everything. So like whenever it gets cold, sometimes his hand freezes up and like his fingers get all locked up and weird. But yeah, so like he's had that happen to him, and he was like, "Holy shit! Like, are you okay? Like that looks painful." So I'm like, "Yeah, no, I'm fine." And so it healed up, it scabbed up, and it was a huge scab. And I remember because it was like at the very beginning of spring, that scab didn't come off until like the end of the school year. And like it didn't start coming off until the very end of the school year. Like I had that scab for the rest of the year for like 2 whole quarters until until right before summer break, and that's when the scab started finally coming off, and that's how I have this scar on my pinky, and also my right pinky does this. I could do this weird clicky motion with it. Like I could do it with my left pinky too, but my right pinky, it's very clicky. Like you can it used to be you could almost hear the click. Like it got down to my knuckle. It was weird. But yeah, that's the story of how I got my first scar.
Um.
Technically, I have another scar. I have another scar on my right wrist. I don't know how it got there. I think it might have been from a cat that I had when I was really little, and that was when we lived in Hamilton. And we
The
only had the
show
cat for a
from
few
New
weeks.
York.
No, but it's just this thin line on my right wrist. It's just this thin line. You can barely see it, but it's there. I don't remember how I got it. I think it was from my cat. It just showed up one day. I never got scratched there either is the thing. Like I never got scratched there. I never got cut there, but there's just this thin line right on my wrist. It's a scar.
Okay, and this has been episode 28 of the Stupid Stuff podcast. I'm gonna try to get these out more regularly than once every couple months, but you know how it is. Um, but yeah, so we will see you all next time.
Wait, hold on. Don't end it yet. I have one thing to say.
Okay.
Kids, ask your mom how the sex works. Or dad if your mom's dead.
No.
I don't care.
Or mom if your dad's dead. Oh, sorry.
Exactly.
Like Hayden.
Like Hayden, just making it more and more obvious. Oh man!
Fucking shut up, Trace.
By the way, there's a politics server, and there's a politics Discord that's in my college's student hub, and literally they have it's like all conservative people, and they have an anti-Biden chat, and so I had Trace join, and so we. So like, and he said Joe Biden is the reason we don't have real life cat girls. Changed my mind. So I said I think Joe Biden is a cute femboy sussy bot.
No. What the fuck?
It's anti-Biden. I mean.